Your clothes look plain and cheap. Serena, the only daughter of a conglomerate company, always looks down on me whenever we meet. Raised surrounded by luxury, she probably thinks I'm not good enough for her family. Serena, who often insults my choice of clothing, spilled wine on my dress at a party one day. I can compensate you, no big deal. Little did she know she was about to experience a living nightmare. My name is Jada. I'm a 58-year-old single mom. I married my college classmate when I was 25, and we had a happy life. At 30, I gave birth to our son Gary. Just when I thought our family of 3 was set, my husband fell seriously ill. Despite our best efforts, he passed away when Gary was just 3. Since then, I've raised Gary as a single mom. Gary grew up well and even expressed his desire to become a doctor. After intense studying, he got into a prestigious private medical school. He passed the USMLE and state medical exams and became a doctor. Gary is my pride and joy. Gary got married 2 years ago, but my relationship with his wife, Serena, has been rocky. They met in a college club and have been close ever since. I supported their relationship wholeheartedly, seeing a lot of my own marriage in theirs. I welcomed her into our family when they decided to get married. However, I soon started to see Serena's true colors. She's the only daughter of a conglomerate company. Spoiled from a young age, she gets whatever she wants, whether it's luxury items or doing as she pleases. According to Gary, chauffeured cars and branded gifts were the norm for her. If she didn't like a gift, she'd send her maid to exchange it. It's no wonder she turned out so self-centered. After their marriage, Gary went to the UK for medical studies, and Serena's stress started to build up. She even threw tantrums saying, "This isn't the married life I wanted." She's been taking out her stress on me since the beginning, and our relationship hasn't improved. I've tried to make peace, but she's not interested. In fact, her condescending remarks have only increased. One day, I visited her to share some sweets a friend had sent me. As soon as she appeared, she said, "Jada, you always look so plain and simple." When I tried to respond, she cut me off saying, "First of all, your face is plain. Gary has such handsome features. Are you sure you're his mother?" I may prefer simple clothes and makeup, but that's no reason for her to insult me like this. Serena always dresses to the nines, complete with flashy clothes, accessories, and makeup. And believe it or not, everything she wears is designer. Unlike you, Jada, I was raised to appreciate the finer things. You wouldn't understand the value of what I'm wearing because you're used to cheap stuff, she says, flaunting her outfit. I just force a smile, not knowing how to respond. Once she starts talking, there's no stopping her. "So, are you working from home today?" "I got some delicious sweets and I thought I'd share. You're living the good life on Gary's earnings. That's basically like being unemployed. I have a good reason for working from home." I've lost count of how many times we've had this conversation. I've explained to her multiple times that I'm financially independent and not relying on Gary. But she never listens. "You must be doing some embarrassing job you can't talk about. Why don't you learn from me who works hard?" she says, but in reality, she's not really working. She's just on the board of her parents' company due to nepotism. She always puts me down while ignoring her own flaws. Seeing me silent, a satisfied Serena says, "Oh, by the way, I have something to tell you." "What is it?" "Our company is celebrating its 100th anniversary next month." "Congratulations." "We're having an anniversary party and you're invited. I'll send you the details later," she says and leaves. I'm surprised to get an invitation from her, but thinking about our previous conversation makes me sad. Why do I have to put up with this? But I don't want Gary to worry, who's working hard in the UK. I've always had this kind of relationship with Serena, where she throws occasional snide remarks my way. I tell myself it's something I can just ignore. Later, Serena calls me about the party. Just so you know, the anniversary party is going to be grand. Family and company associates will be there. So please dress appropriately. Gary will be fine, but Jada, don't show up looking shabby. It would embarrass not just me, but the whole family. After telling me to dress properly, she hangs up. I can easily guess that by properly she means in designer clothes. But I don't have anything that would fit such a lavish party, so I'm in a bind. Gary's coming back for the party, so I decided to consult him. Serena told me to dress properly, but I don't have any dresses that would suit her taste. Don't worry about it, Mom. There's no dress code that says you have to match Serena's taste. But still, don't you have at least one dress? I do, but it's an old design. Then just get it tailored. Problem solved. Thanks to Gary's advice, I decide to have my old dress tailored for the occasion. The day before the party, Gary and I decide to have lunch together. Seeing Gary after so long warms my heart. After enjoying our meal and conversation, we head to the department store. After all, I can't show up to an anniversary party empty-handed. Serena, who has a taste for luxury, is always pleased when she receives designer gifts. It's a straightforward way to make her happy, and I appreciate that. Especially if Gary picks it out. She won't complain. In a way, it's a relief. I'm a bit down about tomorrow's party, but shopping with Gary lifts my spirits. After some thought, we choose an elegant dinnerware set for Serena to use at home. Fast forward to the day of the party. Dressed in a glamorous evening gown, I enter the hotel where the event is being held. It seems Gary hasn't arrived yet. The grand hall is already bustling with Serena's family and business associates, and the party has started. Among them, Serena stands out in a stunning red dress surrounded by people and beaming. When she notices me, she approaches with a puzzled look. Congratulations on your 100th anniversary, I say, handing her the gift. She scans me from head to toe. Suddenly, she drags me out of the grand hall to another venue where the after-party will be held. What's going on? I ask. The question is, what are you wearing? I told you to dress appropriately, she retorts. Perhaps a bit tipsy, she's more talkative than usual, criticizing my dress. Then she abruptly tears open the gift wrapping. You really have no taste, she says, pulling a glass from the dinnerware set. But this will do, she adds, slowly pouring wine into the glass. Compensate for this and buy a new one. Before I can ask what she means, she splashes the wine onto my dress. The stain spreads quickly. You shouldn't have worn such a drab color. You should have chosen something more vibrant. Now it's a bit more flashy, isn't it? She says. Ignoring my shock, she continues to insult me. You can't attend the party in that cheap dress. You may as well go home now, she adds. I realized this was her plan all along, to humiliate me. How awful, I mutter, too shocked to say more. But then anger surges within me. I've had enough. I explode. This dress cost me $30,000, you know. Stop lying, she snaps. It's not a lie. My mom had this made before she passed away. Both the fabric and the tailoring are from the high-end brands you love. Yes, the dress I'm wearing was given to me by my mom before she died. When she knew her time was coming, she gave me this dress during her life-clearing process. It's a good piece, but I don't wear it much anymore. It's a waste to just keep it, so I thought I'd give it to you, Jada," she said, also pulling out matching accessories from her chest. At the time, I didn't know the value of the dress, but from the way my mom spoke, I knew it was expensive. When she offered me the dress, I was hesitant at first. "It's okay. I know you'll take good care of it," she insisted, pushing the dress into my hands. I remember her kind smile as she told me, "Wear this dress on special occasions." "You've ruined a dress that my mom left me. You will compensate me for it, won't you?" "Why would I believe such a fabricated story?" Serena dismisses my words as lies and refuses to engage. But then, the sound of a doorknob turning signals the arrival of more guests. In the center of the group, surrounded by security personnel, is a face I recognize. Chair. Serena rushes over. It's none other than the chair, the guest of honor. "What are you doing here? This is a separate venue for the after party." "Ah, it seems I've made a mistake." Chair laughs heartily, but Serena starts to panic. "A separate venue? Then what are you doing here?" Unable to answer, Serena lowers her gaze. Chair looks at her, then at me in my wine-stained dress, and seems to understand the situation. "Serena!" "Yes?" "What is the meaning of this? Explain!" His jovial demeanor vanishes, replaced by a booming voice of anger. Serena is speechless. Chair walks over to me and gently pats the wine-stained area with a handkerchief. "This should help now. Don't worry, we'll have it professionally cleaned." He speaks softly, his eyes kind. "I'm truly sorry my granddaughter ruined your mother's keepsake dress." "No, thank you for the handkerchief." "There's no need to thank me." Serena, watching this unfold, suddenly sobers up and stands there, pale-faced. "What are you so surprised about? I've told you before that I've known Miss Jada's mother for years." She was the epitome of beauty and brains since her school days. When she made her debut as an author, I was thrilled. I became a big fan of her work. I gifted her this dress when she won the National Book Awards. This revelation shocks me, too. My mom had said she prepared the dress herself. I couldn't believe it was sent from Chair. "National Book Awards?" Serena's eyes widen. "You are really uneducated," Chair mutters. Miss Jada is also a famous author, inheriting her mother's remarkable talent. I'm a big fan of your work as well." "She's a famous author?" "There's a good reason I work from home, as I've told you before. I'm not dependent on Gary, and it's not some job I'm ashamed of." "Unbelievable." "I kept it a secret because I didn't want to reveal my pen name. Even the treats I shared the other day were gifts from my publisher." "You foolish girl. So you've ruined a dress worth hundreds of dollars. What do you plan to do?" "I'm sorry, I didn't think it was that valuable," Serena answers, her voice strained. Chair continues to berate her. "You don't understand the value of things. You're swayed by appearances and brand names. You'll never appreciate quality." Serena can't argue. She just looks down. "If you only own cheap dresses, you'll never understand. Frankly, you have terrible taste. Where did I go wrong raising you?" Chair sighs deeply. "Chair, Be quiet, you're embarrassing me." Chair delivers a final cutting remark. Even Serena seems to feel the shame. Her face turns beet red. After finishing his lecture, Chair whispers something to his secretary. Today is a special occasion with many business associates present. It's a good opportunity for a major announcement, he says cryptically. Ah, Miss Jada, we'll bring you a change of clothes. Please enjoy the party. With that, Chair leaves. Minutes later, a maid helps me change into a new dress and I return to the grand hall. Gary has arrived and says, "That dress looks great on you, Mom." I can only smile awkwardly. It's not the dress I had prepared. I decide not to tell Gary about the earlier incident so he can enjoy the party. Soon, Chair takes the stage and the room erupts in applause. "Thank you all for coming today," he begins, clearly accustomed to public speaking. "I have an announcement." The room buzzes with anticipation. Even Serena's father, the company president, looks puzzled. "Our company is expanding its overseas business. We're establishing a base in Liverpool, and I intend to appoint Serena, my granddaughter and board member, as chief supervisor of the overseas business department. I want her to broaden her horizons and contribute to our company's growth." As warm applause fills the room, Serena's face turns ashen. Anyone perceptive would realize this is essentially a demotion. She must have angered Chair. Her once radiant demeanor is gone. She looks lost. Her carefully chosen crimson dress now seems almost comical. I feel a bit sorry for her, but I'm also relieved. Thanks to Chair, I can enjoy the party, but I'll have to explain to Gary why Serena got an overseas assignment. After the party, I tell him everything, including incidents that occurred while he was studying abroad. Gary seems quite angry. "I can't believe Serena is like that. I'm seriously considering divorce," he says. And so the tumultuous party comes to an end. Weeks later, Serena is indeed assigned overseas. Chair gives her another stern lecture and tells her to stay away from me. Gary agrees with the overseas assignment. Serena seems secretly pleased, thinking she'll be closer to Gary. But as it turns out, Gary is just about to return to the United States. Gary was late to the party because he had an emergency call from work, where he also learned about his return to the U.S. In the end, Serena left America without finding the satisfying new life she'd hoped for. The topic of divorce will be revisited after Serena's overseas assignment, depending on whether she shows any remorse. Once things settle down, I had a chance to talk with Chair. I had just released a new book, so I told him I'd like to give him a copy as a thank you for his help. He gladly accepted. "Why don't we have some coffee? I'd love to hear about your new work," he offered. I took him up on it. Chair apologized again for Serena's rudeness and confessed, "I've never really liked Serena's taste in things," he said with a mischievous smile. The wine-stained dress was cleaned by a professional and returned to me. Relieved, I asked Chair a question that had been bothering me. "About this dress. My mom said she got it herself. I had no idea it was from you." Chair chuckled. "I never thought your mother would tell such a fib." He took a sip of his coffee and continued. "When I heard she won the National Book Awards, I wanted to celebrate. I had a dress tailored that would suit her for public appearances." "I see. But it was an expensive dress. She was reluctant to accept it. Finally, she wore it for the award ceremony." That stubbornness sounds like my mom, but why go to such lengths? "She was my first love," Chair said, blushing slightly. "But she had someone else in her heart. Maybe she knew how I felt. I only saw her wear that dress once, at the ceremony." "Do you think Mom really knew?" Look at the pattern on the dress. Red anemones. Oh. The red anemones symbolize I love you, revealing Chair's feelings. She must have kept it in good condition before passing it on to you, but she probably couldn't say it was from a man, Chair said, still blushing. Please, don't make this the subject of your next book. It's embarrassing, Chair joked. So I decided to keep the bittersweet story of Chair and my mom tucked away in my heart.